So we're here with Holmes football coach Stephen Lickert. Coach, through 3 games, you guys are 3-0. Maybe you could just kind of talk a little bit about what you've learned about your team from through 3 games that you didn't know before.
We learned that when we play well, we can do a lot of things, and we can score pretty quickly on people. Last week we learned the most about our team, though, and we had to fight through some adversity, fight through some turnovers, and played a strong Cooper team. And you know, it was a physical game, which isn't really what we're great at, but we stepped up to the plate and we're just as physical as them, and came out to win. So it was impressive to me to watch them battle through that adversity and fight through when they could have looked down, and they didn't, and they stepped up to the plate, and it's a sign of a good football team.
You got married in the off season. Did your wife know what she was getting into? Now that you guys are in football season?
Yeah, she did. We have a good agreement. She takes care of everything in the house and cooking from August until December, and December starts, and I'm on till August starts again, taking care of everything. So we've got a good relationship, and she knew what she was getting into when we were dating. When we started dating, I was the head football coach, and she understands. She's great.
You got your first head coaching job at the age of 24. Did you ever have a job before when you weren't coaching football? I mean, did you have any of those bad student jobs that all of us have had?
Oh yeah, I worked at Express for Men in the mall, and I was a drink distributor at a local drinking hole, and I was also a server at Carrabba's in Lexington. So I did a little bit of everything, because you know, when you're just helping out at Georgetown and coaching high school football for the other year, and you're in school, you don't make any money. So
yeah,
that's basically what I did during that time.
When you're 24, you get that head coaching job. I mean, you were the youngest head coach in the area, and you really, I mean, you hadn't had a ton of experience as an assistant. If you could kind of talk to that 24-year-old version of you now, I mean, what kind of advice would you give yourself?
Just stay the course. I mean, you know, you have a plan, and you don't really know what's going to work and what's not going to work, and surround yourself with great guys. And I was lucky to do that. I had some great assistants in Dayton, and Craig Smith was a veteran that really helped me a lot in those early days. And you know, when you didn't take over a winning program, and things are looking down, and just listening to those people that have been there before, because they're, you know, I don't believe in the whole he doesn't have experience so we shouldn't hire him, but I do believe that you need to listen to people that have had experiences, because you can learn a lot from those people.
You've been here for 4 years now. I know coaches, when they come in, they're real big on kind of starting new traditions and kind of getting kids to believe in certain things. I mean, what's your favorite tradition you guys have started here as a staff?
Well, that's a tough question. You know, we haven't really tried to change the tradition. We've just tried to basically bring the tradition back, and bring back some players to be around our kids, and they can know what kind of Holmes football is all about. You know, we added some stuff that we did at Highlands, and put in a goodie box the kids get excited about, and get some candy each Thursday, and just you know, just the biggest thing that I think we've done tradition-wise is just getting our kids to believe in what they're doing, and selling them on, if they work harder than anybody else, they will be successful.
When obviously Holmes has had a great tradition in basketball, especially the last few years, they've produced some really good teams and athletes. And you guys are on your way there too. I mean, did you ever try to get some of those kids out that played basketball, and does it bother you when they don't, when they just concentrate on one sport?
You know, a lot of people talk about, you know, why don't these basketball players play? Well, you know, basketball is a tough game to play, but when you would get better at basketball, you go shoot basketball. You know, you go dribble a basketball. But to get better at football and become a great football player, you got to lift weights in the off season. You got to do the conditioning stuff that doesn't involve the football, and it's hard to sell some of those guys on that sometimes. But we just focused on the kids we had. You know, we took the kids we had and made them the best players that we could. And you know, we tried to get Ricardo Johnson and Jeremiah and Elijah and all those guys to come out. But you know, a couple of those guys had better opportunities in basketball. And you know, after the first couple of years, I just left them alone. And you know, we just focused on our kids. But now you're seeing more two-sport stars here at Holmes, and I think you're going to continue to see that.
you guys are in your second year in 4A. You're the defending district champs. There's talk of what realignment next year is going to bring, whether or not you guys will be back in with Highlands and Covcath and Dixie and some of, well, Dixie probably not, but some of the other schools in the area. Is there any sense of let's take advantage of this while we have it, or is it just, are you just blocking that out?
It doesn't, you know, for us it was just about playing teams our own size, and you can say that Highlands and Covcath moved up to 5A, and two of the teams in our district were, and that's fine. But we didn't choose to move up to 5A. You know, we were a 4A school, and that's where we should have been, and that's where we are. So when they moved down, we have zero complaints about that. I mean, we will have had 2 winning seasons in a row, and what, are our kids just going to all of a sudden quit and not think they're very good anymore just because Highlands and Covcath moved back into our district? You know, that means nothing to us. We feel like with our success, we're going to be able to compete and do some good things.
If you were the KHSA commissioner for a day, what would you change?
I'd probably go back to 4 classes. Yeah. I think six is too many. Now, I do see the benefits of 6, but the hardest part is keeping a fair playing ground for everyone, because, you know, if you're realigning, the numbers change for so many teams so much that in 3 years it's going to be, you know, this team should be 1A, this team should be 3A, but they're not because they didn't change by 12%. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing that I would probably do, is go back to 4, because you're still going to have some border teams, but those border teams are going to be a few and far between. They're not going to be, you know, every class, 6 classes, there's border teams and teams that should be here and there. I just think it was more spaced out, and there were more teams involved, and it meant more.
So, some states have kind of experimented with using an equation with students who are on free and reduced lunch that'll kind of help dictate where they fall into classification. I've heard a little bit of talk about it in Kentucky, not a lot at all. The thought is that schools that are from lower income areas have less participation, things like that, and they're kind of playing at a disadvantage. Would you have any thoughts on, or any thoughts on whether or not that should be implemented?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think there's definitely merit to that. I think that we have such a transient population here at Holmes. We have kids that may start out the year, then they move to Cincinnati for 4 months, and then they come back, and they can never get into a groove. So I can kind of see that, but I really don't know much about what they're doing. I think Minnesota does it, but I haven't really read too much into it, because trying to worry about what we're doing and take care of our business, and we're not hoping for this to happen or that to happen just to make us have a chance. We're just trying to get better with what we have.
Definitely. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Yeah.